Hey guys, follow me. I wanted to show you something here. This is the 21st DOE NRC Nuclear Air Cleaning Conference back in 1990. Let's head on down to page 33. Okay. Now, the discussion began here, and this is what I wanted to show you guys. Because of our teaching activities at Harvard over the many years, it is obvious we have a lot of friends at most of the DOE nuclear facilities. Not necessarily all in the very highest echelons. What I hear, and I hear it over and over again, is that as a result of the Tiger teams, now these Tiger teams were new and were a result of regulations that had to be put in place after Chernobyl and 3 Mile Island occurred, that finally made this industry clean up its act and start doing these facilities the way they were designed to do instead of the way that makes more profits. Okay, they were called out on a lot of the sites, and so they made these tiger teams made up of their peers from other sites that would go to their site and they would critique what they were doing and their programs. So we'll continue Tiger Team activities and other similar activities. Morale is at a very, very low level at the sites. Instead of being buoyed up by this attention, people are being discouraged. I wonder if there is someone at the DOE who recognizes that there has to be some encouragement for these people to do their best, rather than a long, bitter series of condemnations, not only by the reports themselves, but also by the press. You see, the press and everybody got wind of what was happening. Now, let me just say that I recognize that there are things that are wrong at these sites, but I would like to think that the effort is intended to help the sites rather than tear them down. Do you have a comment on that? And Zimmer was new to the DOE, and he says, the point is well taken, and I must tell you that I have heard the same things. I am new in the DOE, so I have heard them from the outside. This is important. I have a number of former students who work at the DOE facilities or in the DOE. Now, this is the head of um, the DOE now, and as well as many colleagues of many years who are at these sites. It is quite true that when these types of problems arise, there is a possibility that morale will be affected. After all, it is a type of criticism of what has been done or what is being done. That type of criticism is always hard to take, especially by those who have, in fact, worked hard for many years and have tried to do a good job, which I agree. Most of the people that work in the nuclear industry are just your lowly paid people who are just trying to make a check and have a nice house and a nice car, a nice family, and do what we all normally do. But the issue is the CEOs and the people that actually know the issues that are happening at these sites are basically overstepping anything that the normal person would say. The normal person that works at a nuclear power plant can't say anything. They just go to work and do their bidding. In fact, there are many who have done a good job, and we know that. There's a lot of talent in those facilities. It is also true that many of them, particularly in our areas of environmental safety and health, have not always been able to do the things that they have felt are important because of certain decisions that are made in the past by those that are higher ups than them. So there are those in the labs who now welcome the fact that these areas, which so many of us have felt needed attention, are in fact finally being given the attention. Okay, this is finally in 1990. Okay? Nonetheless, the criticism does hurt a bit. However, it should be mentioned that the critiques are done by peers. Largely, the teams that go in are from the other national laboratories, so they are critiquing each other. There are also some headquarters peoples and some outside consultants It is a mix. The critiques are done by peers who are experts in various areas such as OSHA, NEPA, and health. In that sense, the critiques have been seen as valid. Yes, they are valid. And they should be broken down because what they have been doing in the past is not right. And it continues today. It continues today. There's no difference other than a few more regulations. There is still effluents coming from these plants that they can't control. That isn't even addressed. And those effluents that they can't control, especially, is tritium. They can't control it. They can't contain it. It leaks out. It permeates through the metal. There's nothing they can do with it. So it gets released through just doing power on normal everyday operations. That's why Indian Point was shut down. Over 65,000% above backgrounds of tritium. Tritium is not harmless. Look it up. Organically bound tritium causes harm to us and is causing cancers that aren't being added to the statistical analysis calculations of deaths per kilowatt. Just like every other cancer. None of them are getting added to the sources. Okay? Look this up. This is from the 90s. So you can just imagine what goes on in these conferences between the DOE and the NRC. Okay? They're all ex-workers. They're all crossing paths. Okay? This is not the way it should occur. The regulators should have no connection to nuclear power. They should not be a nuclear worker that used to work at a nuclear power plant or teaching about nuclear power and physics. It should be people that deal with health, that deal with the environment, and can understand the physics and the environment and everything that has to do with nuclear power. It doesn't take a physicist to understand nuclear power. It's not that difficult. Not near as difficult as people make it seem to be. All right, guys, stay informed. Check this out and comment below. Tell me what you guys think about this meeting and how it went. All right, guys. Bye.